everyone, this is Megan with Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, and today we're here for Tip Tuesday. This is the tip of a needle. Thank you for joining me this Tip Tuesday. Okay, but for real, let's actually do the tip this week. The tip this week is going to be all about sewing thread. So, as some of us know and some of us might not all sewing thread is made equal. So, I wanted to show you a good example of that and then what your good quality thread is probably going to look like. So that's why I've got this sheet of paper here, because sometimes it's a little easier to see it on a plain white background. So, I have a brand of thread right here that I know I stockpiled a lot of when I first started sewing, and I think a lot of us do. And if you actually look at it on a white piece of paper, you can actually see that that thread is not woven very evenly at all. So a lot of times we get very mad, we think our machine's broken, we think something's wrong, we get frustrated for hours and days and decide we're not sewing anymore because it's not fun. But sometimes it could be because the thread is woven so uneven, it just keeps breaking and breaking and breaking in our machine. So we talked about needles a couple weeks ago. Needles are going to make a big difference, but if you're using a quality of thread that is very, very wavy like this one, you're going to get very frustrated. So if you use a type of thread that's a little bit better for you, if you look at this one, it is pretty much even all the way across. So for the most part, when you're sewing, I recommend getting a good quality sewing thread. I joke around a little bit and say if it's a little bit harder to pronounce, it's probably a good thread, but I genuinely believe that. So here in our stores at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, we try to make sure we carry good quality thread for you because we want sewing to be fun, not work. Like we say, sewing fun starts here, so let's make it easy, right? So for serger thread, this is the one I like the best. And then quilting thread, we've got a whole bunch of different brands. Signature is one of them. And if you look at that, I'm going to drag it because it's variegated. That one is woven nice and evenly as well. So a lot of our people that have long arm quilters really, really like that one because it comes in those different things and it's also 100% cotton. So when you're thinking about types of thread as well, you want to think about what type of project you're working on. A lot of quilters like to use 100% cotton because it deteriorates at the same rate as your quilt. Now, you don't have to, you can use polyester and things like that, but a lot of die-hard quilters will always recommend using the cotton thread. So, we definitely carry that stuff for you. We also do have polyester threads though, which there are polyester threads for sewing, there's polyester threads for quilting, and there's also polyester threads for embroidering. So, this is a brand that we carry called Finesse, which is going to be a polyester thread. Of course, white on white isn't going to do the best here, but you can see it's woven very evenly. I like that it's really soft too, so when you do your quilting, it doesn't feel kind of harsh. And overall, they also have some of the most beautiful variegated colors. So this one is a really fun thread to try out, especially if you have a lot of colors in your quilt or whatever you're working on. I've also used it as a rolled hem before, which was pretty fun. And then of course, we've got embroidery threads. So me, myself, and I really like metallic threads, as you guys probably know by now. And my favorite metallic threads are going to be the Floriani ones that we carry. The reason for that is if you look at it, look how smooth that is. A lot of metallic threads look a little windy and coily. They end up spiraling when you kind of take it out like this. If they are running smooth and make almost a U shape when you do this, that's a good quality metallic thread. So that's why I like these ones the best, because they spool off the easiest and they run through the machines beautifully. They don't tend to break as much, especially if you use the right needle, and it really is a great quality thread. We also, of course, have the Floriani embroidery thread along with the Madeira rayon. So the Floriani is a polyester, and you can see that one is woven nice and even as well. It's kind of soft, it's got that nice little shine to it, so it tends to be very, very popular. And then the Madeira rayon, once again, nice and evenly woven, very solid color. It is rayon, so once in a while I've had a little bit of an issue with it bleeding, but not very frequently. But other than that, it's beautiful. So, The tip for this week is make sure you're using a good quality thread, and that you make sure if you're having breakages happening, check your spool of thread and make sure that it is woven evenly. I will let you know as well that black thread and red thread are dyed a little bit harder than the rest, so they often tend to break a little bit more. So there's a couple tips for you on this Tip Tuesday. Let us know what you do to kind of help with thread breaking or any of those issues. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, comment on this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, and check out what all we're doing.